Red Hat. Okay, very good. Tuesday. Yeah. Sectors. Okay, very good. Ubuntu, very good. ఇంకొకటి Power Linux. Okay, so these are all your Linux distributions are there, guys, right? So after this, now I would like to be work with the Linux commands. How I can do practice? Usually earlier days, what happens here is earlier days we used to be having to installing your Linux operating system. We have to be, suppose now this is your okay, here hard disk is there. We are going to be bifurcate. This is your hard disk, right? You said a physical device name. Hope you people have been saw this physical device. This is your hard disk. Hard disk. Suppose now this is 1 terabyte of hard disk. 1 terabyte of hard disk. Now I would like to be, this is your Windows operating system in this one. So base operating system which is already running Windows 10. Windows 10 which is already running. The host operating system. Host OS. Already host operating system which is running. But now I would like to be installing the Linux operating system. How I can do that? Earlier days, before this cloud computing, before this virtualization have been introduced, we need to be partitioning your hard disk. Okay, suppose now your hardware is 8 GB of RAM, 8 GB of RAM, 1 terabyte of hard disk, okay, and 8 core CPUs there. So this is your hardware configuration. In this hardware configuration, now I need to be dividing your hard disk into two partitions. In one partition, which is already Windows operating system, which is running. In another partition, I need to be installing the Linux operating system. To installing the Linux, complete Linux operating system, understand that how much time it is taking. Minimum it is taking 1.5 hours to 2 hours it will be taking. To installing the Linux operating system and configuring one system, it is taking 2 hours. This is earlier, before virtualization, before cloud computing have been introduced. It is very difficult earlier to work with the two operating systems at a time. But virtualization, which is introduced, with that one, it makes our work much easier. I will take one session here, guys, for virtualization. What is meant by virtualization? How it is going to get work? I'll explain that one. But in this case here, bifurcation, that means a partition need to be done out of 8 GB, 1 terabyte of hard disk, 400 GB of hard disk. I will be partitioned that, and in that 400 GB of hard disk, I will need to be installing the Linux operating system. Suppose now this is your hard disk. Okay, this is your hard disk, guys. So in this one, this is your hard disk. Okay, now in this we are having all the Windows operating system which is already running. Windows 10 operating system which is already running. In another partition, I need to be installing the Linux source. But when we are having this one here, like this one, it is very difficult to work with the two operating system at a time. Suppose now while you are working with the Windows operating system, the two projects you people are working, one is on a Windows base, another one is a Linux operating system. When you are working on the Windows based project, you received a mail to fix up the bugs in the Linux project. What do you have to do? You have to restart the machine, boot with your Linux operating system, boot with the Linux operating system, and then you have to fix up the bugs in the Linux OS. While you are working with the Linux operating system, you might be receive the mail to fix the bugs in the Windows based project. Again, the developer is going to be reboot the system, boot with Windows OS. Observe that, guys. If throughout the day, if you are keep on restarting the system like this one, what happens? Lot of time will be getting wasted. First thing. Next thing is the developer is losing the focus. Second thing. Third one is he might not be delivered the quality code. When he was losing the focus, he couldn't able to be write the quality code. So that is a problem. That is another problem he is going to be facing, right? So this is the problem. So that is why earlier we faced this much of difficulty. When I was working as a developer in the 2007, I used to be work like this. I'm working on both Linux as well as Windows based project. So and like I say, whenever I need to be work, so I need to be reboot that and fix up that bugs like that. So it is very difficult for the developer to be work in this kind of an environment. But now this problem has been resolved with virtualization concept here. This problem has been resolved by virtualization concept. With this virtualization, concept, without restarting your system, you can work with the multiple operating system. This is the biggest revolution in your IT industry. Now the cloud computing services like your AWS, Azure, all these things, it is working on this virtualization concept only, guys. Without restarting your system. Now same thing, if I show you this, suppose now this is your Windows operating system. And here we are going to be installing the virtualization software. Virtualization software I'm going to be installing. So like here virtualization software, we are having VMware, Oracle VBox, hypervisor, like many are there, Microsoft Hyper-V like that. And above this, now suppose now here above this, we are going to be creating the VMs here. I'm going to be creating the VM. Now same here, whatever the configuration what we have in this one, the same hardware configuration. Now what I'll do is here, I'll be creating one VM. VM is nothing but virtual machine. In this one, Linux operating system, suppose now I need Windows, on Windows operating system I'm running, and I need here I'm going to be installing the Ubuntu OS. Ubuntu operating system I'm installing. Here project is running, application which is running. That relevant softwares and everything you can able to be installed. For that application, what are all the softwares which is required, we can install. Now here when we are creating this VM, now here these hardware resources need to be shared. So here for this one, I'm going to be using 4 GB of RAM I'm allocating to this. 4 GB of RAM and 400 GB of hard disk. Clear guys? This hardware I'm going to be allocating to this VM. 4 GB of RAM I have allocated to this VM so that it is having the guest operating system. We used to be calling this, what we used to be called this one as guest operating system. Here guys, guest operating system. Now in this one, out of 1 terabyte of hard disk, 400 GB of hard disk we have allocated, 4 GB of RAM allocated to this one. And for the remaining 4 GB of RAM, which is used for this host operating system to be run, and remaining 600 GB of hard disk, which is used to run this applications which is running on the Windows. Clear? Now here, need not be restart your system in this one like what we did earlier. If suppose now we are running on the Windows servers, Windows based project, now you need to be get into this Linux based project. That means Ubuntu application you need to be switch on. So how we can do, like simply how you are switch on and switch off to the browser tabs, how you are going to be switch on and switch off simply. Similarly, you can able to be switch on and switch off to the Windows OS to the Ubuntu, Ubuntu to the Windows OS without restarting your system. Your resource timing is getting saved, right? And he's also not restarting every time, and is not losing his focus. Can able to be deliver the quality services. And the organizations also need not be purchase the multiple laptops, multiple desktops. Correct. So if any resources who is used to be running or working on the multiple projects, for him we need to be provide the higher end configurations like your 16 GB or 32 GB of RAM, 2 terabyte of hard disk, 8 core CPU. 8 core CPU in the sense 8 CPUs can able to be allocated. In one laptop, 8 CPUs can be allocated. Easy అయిపోయిందా? Servers allow on time. Servers also looks like this one only. But thing is, unnecessary stuff, it is not going to be the graphical card. Those are all the things, it is not necessary. Only the application running, application configuration, hardware resources. That we are going to be focused. Not on the graphical card, gaming card, housing. Clear? So this virtualization, here we are going to be connecting this one. Now what we can do is, with this one now, cloud computing services we got it now, AWS, right? Even this virtualization also, even this is resolving some part of problem. But now here we need to be installing this Linux Ubuntu operating system separately. Clear as to creating one virtual machine. Here also we need to be installing the virtual operating system, guest operating system separately. But advanced of this one is the cloud computing. Virtualization, of course, it is resolving major issues. But advanced of the virtualization is cloud computing. Now see, to creating this virtual machine, to installing this all the operating system and creating this application and all these things, it is taking 2-3 hours. But the same thing now with the cloud computing, we can achieve within minute. If your cloud computing, that means AWS account have been created, in this AWS account creation, you can launch the Linux server less than 30 seconds. And you can practice the Linux commands into it only, which makes your work much easier. Clear? Advaina? So, hope you people have been created the AWS free tier account. You know how to create AWS free tier account? మీ ముగ్గురే వీళ్ళందరూ క్రియేట్ చేశారు. ఇది అయిపోయిందా? ప్రాబ్లం ఏంటి? ఏంటమ్మా? చెప్పాను అది అక్కడ ప్రాబ్లం ఉంటుంది. అంటే అప్లికేషన్లో అప్డేట్ చేసావా? Do people know how to create an AWS free tier account? తెలుసా? Amazon Prime కాదు. Okay, AWS free tier account create check. You people know? मालूम है? So what's your background? What's your name? Abdullah. Okay, I can call Abdullah, right? Abdul. Okay, Abdul. What is your background? Academic background. BCA. Okay, when is your pass out? 22. After that, 21. After that, what you did? Okay. You're simply not doing anything. Learning any process, no? Okay. Okay, fine. BCA में सब कुछ है ना, ये सब Java, C, C++, सब कुछ है ना? So it is almost equal to MCA, the content. I know that when I used to teach BCA in 2003. Okay, no problem. AWS free tier account. See here, guys. Create AWS free tier account. Create the AWS free tier account in the lab, guys, today, because tomorrow I'm going to show you that how to be launched in EC2 instance. Lab technician will be help you to be creating an AWS free tier account. Okay. So tomorrow I'll show you that how we are going to be launching the EC2 server and start using the Linux commands. From the basics, I'm going to be explaining. Okay. So what about other? Miro? Parent? Huh? Vamshi. ఎందుకు ఇది ఇప్పుడు అవసరం లేదు కదా ఓకే వంశీ ఎప్పుడు పాస్ అవుట్ నీది ఏంటి ఎంఎస్సి కంప్యూటర్ సైన్స్ ఓకే 2018 పాస్ అవుట్ ఎంఎస్సి దాని తర్వాత 6 years ఏం చేసావు మాట్లాడేది ఏం అర్థం కావట్లేదు అది తీసి మాట్లాడు ఓకే యూ డిడ్ ద మిస్టేక్ 6 years తర్వాత అర్థమైందా ఓకే బిజినెస్ చేసావు కదా ఎందుకంటే రేపు ఇంటర్వ్యూలో అడుగుతారు వాట్ యూ డిడ్ ఇన్ 6 years అని అంటే చెప్పాలి సో బిజినెస్ అంటే మీ ప్రిపేర్ అయ్యాను అడిగి చెప్పేయచ్చు బట్ 6 years ఇదే చేసామంటే కనుక వాళ్ళు యాక్సెప్ట్ చేయరు యూ హ్యావ్ టు బి కీప్ అన్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ అరౌండ్ 3+ years ఆఫ్ ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పుటప్ చేయాలి 3 years పుటప్ చేస్తేనే మీకు కాల్స్ అనేవి వస్తాయి అదర్వైజ్ నాట్ పాసిబుల్ ఫ్రెషర్స్కే వస్తాయి ఫ్రెషర్స్ అంటే ఇప్పుడు 23 పాస్ అవుట్ అంటే వాళ్ళకి ఫ్రెషర్స్ లాగా వస్తాయి కానీ మీరు 2018 పాస్ అవుట్ అంటే ఫ్రెషర్ లాగా వెళ్తారంటే రావు కాబట్టి మీరు 3 years మాత్రం పుటప్ చేసుకోవాలి సో ద కైండ్ ఆఫ్ స్టఫ్ యూ పీపుల్ ఆర్ గోయింగ్ టు బి గెట్ ఇట్ ఫ్రమ్ దిస్ వన్ ఇస్ 3+ years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ గై వాట్ హీ విల్ డూ 3 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ ఉన్న పర్సన్ డెవాప్స్ ఇంజనీర్ ఏం చేస్తాడు రియల్ టైంలో అనేది మీకు ఇక్కడ రియల్ టైం ఎక్స్పోజర్ అనేది వస్తుంది సో మీరు కాన్ఫిడెంట్ గా మీరు 3 years ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పుటప్ చేసుకోవచ్చు యూ రోహిత్ 2020 తర్వాత సివిల్ ఇంజనీరా ఓకే ఓకే 2020 తర్వాత జాబ్ చేసావా ఓకే ఫైన్ సో 2022 కూడా అదే ఎక్స్పీరియన్స్ పుటప్ చేయాలి కన్సల్టెంట్స్ ఎవరైనా తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఉన్నారా చూసుకోండి ఓకే మీ తెలిసిన సర్కిల్లో మీ చుట్టాలు కానీ ఫ్రెండ్స్ కానీ ఎవరైనా ఉంటే కనుక యూ కెన్ టేక్ దేర్ ఒపీనియన్ టేక్ దేర్ కన్సల్టెంట్స్ ఎవరైనా తెలిసిన వాళ్ళు ఉంటే కనుక యూ కెన్ అప్రోచ్ దెమ్ అండ్ కొన్ని ప్రాసెస్ ఉంటాయి అవి స్టార్ట్ చేసుకో ఇఫ్ యూ వాంట్ టు మేక్ యువర్ కెరీర్ ఇన్ DevOps బికాస్ DevOps ఐ కెన్ సజెస్ట్ యూ వై బికాస్ ఎవ్రీ ఇయర్ దీనికి ఇంపార్టెన్స్ అనేది పెరుగుతూ పోతుంది ప్రతి ఇయర్ దిస్ కేమ్ ఇన్ ద ఇయర్ ఆఫ్ 2017 came in the 2014 only, but 17-18 only, most of the organizations will start implementing the DevOps in their organizations, in their projects. So every year it is keep increasing, adopting many organizations. So till automation is there, DevOps will be there. So career will be long, 10 to 15 years. There is no look back for this DevOps and cloud. కాబట్టి నేను సజెస్ట్ చేస్తాను మిగతా నేను సజెస్ట్ చేయలేను ఎందుకంటే మిగతావి ఎన్నాళ్ళు ఉంటుందో తెలియదు ఇప్పుడు ఏ అంటున్నారు ఏ భూమి అంటున్నారు ఏ ఎన్నాళ్ళు ఉంటుందో తెలియదు ఇంతకుముందు ఆర్పిఐ కూడా వచ్చింది హార్డ్లీ 1 year ఇట్ ఈస్ సస్టైన్ సో ఇన్వెస్టింగ్ యువర్ టైం ఇన్వెస్టింగ్ యువర్ ఎఫర్ట్స్ ఆన్ ద కోర్సెస్ విచ్ ఈస్ గివింగ్ యూ ద లాంగ్ కెరీర్ దట్ ఈస్ మోర్ యూస్ఫుల్ టు మీరు ఇంత టైం స్పెండ్ చేస్తున్నారు ఓకే ఇంత ఎఫర్ట్స్ పెడుతున్నారు కాబట్టి మీరు నేర్చుకున్న తర్వాత దాని మీద జాబ్ వచ్చేసి కెరీర్ అనేది నెక్స్ట్ ఎక్స్టెండ్ చేసుకోండి I'll be explaining it from the scratch, though you people are coming from the non-technical and from the basics నుండి చెప్తాను నేను. These people are also coming from the non-technical background, like you. I will be explaining from the scratch so that you people can be easily understand. Okay, but practice it minimum 4 to 5 hours every day. అది మాత్రం mandatory. అది చేయకపోతే నేను ఏం చేయలేను. Okay, practice చేయండి. If you people are having any kind of an errors, any kind of an issues, or ఏమైనా doubts ఉన్నా కానీ you people can come down and I'm here to be helped. Okay, so tomorrow onwards we are going to be starting the Linux commands. Clear is? You will repeat every class and take Linux commands. Yesterday I'm not feeling well, that's why I couldn't come. But it's but